You may now begin your presentation.
Social change comes from action. Action to think bigger, do more, and lead the change for a better tomorrow.
With wealth inequality growing across Canada, we've seen people just like us struggling to put food on the table and survive. But we believe that change is possible, and we are here to make it happen.
At Enactus U Ottawa, our communities are at the heart of our drive to create long-lasting social enterprises that uplift people and improve livelihoods.
Today, we'll show you the actionable business models, industry-evolving innovation, and real impact we built through Nupacko and Aqua Grid, two social enterprises that directly help people.
Grocery store prices in Canada have risen by 26% in the past 5 years, pushing more Canadians into food insecurity.
In just 2023, the average rate of Canadians facing food insecurity rose from 18 to 23%. And the average rate of food insecurity across Canada has been steadily rising since 2021.
But it's not just about the affordability of food. Nutrient deficiency is also a rampant issue across the country. Health Canada reports that up to 87% of Canadians fail to meet the minimum daily requirements for essential nutrients.
For many, even when food is available, it isn't the right kind of food. Consumers across Ontario told us that a lack of nutritious, convenient options, coupled with anxiety about making healthy food choices, have led to a poorer quality of life.
To combat this complex issue, we knew we needed to find a solution that not only provides nutritious food, but also tackles financial barriers to food access head on.
Introducing Nupacko, your very own nutrient pack to go. We create cookies that address 5 of the most common nutrient deficiencies in Canada, offering an easy and delicious way to meet basic nutritional needs.
Per gram, each cookie provides the same protein as eggs, potassium as bananas, iron as spinach, and more. Our recipe and health benefits have been tested and certified at Eurofins, a professional lab earning Nupacko an official Canadian nutrition label.
Nupacko has a one-for-one business model. So, for every Nupacko cookie sold, another is donated to low-income communities through our strategic partnerships. This ensures that even those facing financial barriers can still access balanced nutrition.
The Nupacko business model is designed to be both sustainable and impactful. We sell our cookies for $2 each at a 60% gross margin. From each sale, 40% is allocated towards donating a cookie to low-income communities, while the remaining 20% goes towards expanding our operations.
Our go-to-market strategy targets groups that are struggling with making healthy food choices, like students and busy professionals. We've leveraged distribution partners and creative marketing campaigns to create multiple touchpoints with our customers. You may have even sampled some of our cookies yesterday at the TELUS Convention Center or Marriott Hotel entrances.
Since our launch just 9 months ago, we've proven our sales strategy works. We've secured hundreds of sales across Canada and generated $6,500 in revenue.
To scale Nupacko, we've built strong industry connections. We've secured a kitchen space at Causeway, a reputable not-for-profit helping people facing job barriers find work. We've also signed a distribution deal with Crackers Catering, a professional catering company which increases Nupacko's exposure to large-scale events across Ottawa.
Using our connections with wholesalers like Cisco and our optimized production processes to reduce our costs, we've employed 2 individuals from marginalized backgrounds at Ottawa's livable wage. This demonstrates the sustainability of our operations and our ability to offer decent work to low-income communities.
We have also created long-term partnerships with community organizations, ensuring that Nupacko cookies reach those who need them most. Let's hear from Chris Ogerman, Director of Development at Cornerstone Housing for Women, about how Nupacko is making a difference for the women they support.
Recently, Cornerstone had the opportunity to partner with Paco when they donated more than 1,000 nutrient-dense cookies so that people in our supportive housing and shelter communities could enjoy them. Absolutely loved the cookies, and they made such an impact on everybody at the event. Organizations like Nupacko allow us to do the important work that we do in the community, serving more than 300 individuals every single day. So thank you, Nupacko, for everything that you do.
To date, we've donated 1,100 cookies to low-income communities across Canada, but our impact doesn't stop at Canada's borders.
To feed vulnerable communities globally, we've partnered with Enactus Moyanex in Kenya.
Kenya has one of the highest rates of food insecurity in the world, according to the Global Hunger Index, with a third of the population undernourished.
The Nupacko team baked all cookies in Canada and shipped them to the Kenyan Enactus team for distribution in early April. In collaboration with the Tumaini Innovation Center and Kenyan's Children Home, who both support at-risk youth, we've helped 1,000 children get the nutrition they need to grow.
This marks Nupacko's first international expansion, a major step toward our mission to combat food insecurity worldwide. To keep momentum, we've established long-term contracts with current partners and are in talks with 3 more distributors to over triple the amount of people fed through Nupacko in the coming year.
Through the next year, Nupacko is projected to distribute 10,000 cookies, provide decent work to 5 people, and form strategic partnerships with 10 community organizations and distributors to increase food access to those facing food insecurity.
Nupacko is addressing the impact of wealth disparity on food access across Canada. But we knew there was more to the issue. Why are so many people facing unstable incomes that affect their ability to afford necessities?
To understand how those driving Canada's economy are being disadvantaged, we took a look at the industries that provide essential resources like food. Canada's billion-dollar marine industry, a key supplier of seafood and other vital products, plays an important role in this.
Canada's waters are essential to our environment and economy, but they face growing threats from rising water pollution. These pollutants lead to harmful ocean acidification.
Marine life, like shellfish and coral, need minerals to build their shells and skeletons. Ocean acidification eats away at those essential minerals, endangering marine life.
Projections suggest that ocean acidity could rise by 150% by the end of the century, with Canada's shellfish market already experiencing declines in both catch size and volume.
This environmental issue also impacts our supply chains. Reduced shellfish catches means higher prices for consumers and reduced income for the thousands of communities dependent on fisheries. The BC Shellfish Growers Association cites these issues as a major concern for the industry's future.
Our team saw an opportunity to clean up waters and reshape the industry with kelp. Kelp filters greenhouse gases and produces up to 100 times more oxygen than land forests of the same size.
Kelp also thrives in cold waters close to shores, making it ideal for the long Canadian coast.
With kelp as the key ingredient, we're creating green solutions for blue oceans with Aqua Grid. The Aqua Grid system uses modular kelp farms to filter water and combat ocean acidification.
It's low maintenance and user-friendly. We work closely with fishery managers and aquaculture technicians to understand their needs and ensure that our system can integrate smoothly into existing operations.
Once installed, a system can be left alone as the kelp soaks up water pollutants. This allows operators to continue their regular operations. The sensors on each system can monitor pollution levels for operators virtually.
After a year, old kelp lines are cut off and new kelp lines are added in for another year. Kelp can be sold and has common use cases, such as being processed into fertilizer, creating a circular waste system.
Just one Aqua Grid unit can remove 1,300 kilograms of greenhouse gases and produce 1,100 kilograms of oxygen every year. The filtering effects span 18 times the area of the system and increase shellfish yield.
Our modular design also allows operators to buy additional attachable units that can multiply the environmental impact at just 3/4 the initial unit cost.
To bring the solution to consumers, our team knew we had to make a simple and innovative design. Over 6 months of development, we've had our system reviewed by 3 professional research and engineering teams to finalize designs that we intend to patent.
The initial Aqua Grid system cost $6,500 to set up. The system has an annual maintenance cost of $600, creating a recurring revenue stream for the business.
For operators, just one system can generate $3,000 in revenue a year. It has a 3-year payback period based on potential kelp sales and increased shellfish yield. Additionally, it generates over $2,500 in value annually from pollutant removal, bringing money back to farmers and lowering consumer prices.
Our go-to market strategy targets private shellfish farmers in coastal communities. Leveraging our connections with ocean experts in leading organizations, we're in discussions to pilot at the Ecology Action Center for the next kelp growing season this September.
Through our current leads pipeline, we project to roll out 20 units across Canada next year, generating $130,000 in revenue in just our first true operating year.
Today, we've shown you the power of entrepreneurial action to create businesses that protect people and shape a better future.
With Nupacko, our cookie for a cause is fighting food insecurity around the world with every bite. We have created 5 long-term partnerships, employed 2 people, and have helped 2,700 people get the nutrition they need.
And with Aqua Grid, we're cleaning our waters and supporting communities with a groundbreaking new system. In less than 10 months, we've generated 20 projected customers that can bring $60,000 in revenue for operators, produce 26,000 pounds of greenhouse gases, and produce 21,000 pounds of oxygen.
This year, our team of over 80 members generate $25,000 in revenue across 8 projects that tackle 13 sustainable development goals, directly impact over 3,000 people, and work with 30 industry partners.
We saw inequalities and built solutions that will shape the next generation of sustainable businesses.
Your presentation time has now expired. We will now begin the question and answer period. Judges, please raise your hand to indicate you have a question, and a microphone will be brought to you. When asking your questions, please stand if you are able.
Hello, I have a first question for you. Could you tell us what you were about to say when you were cut off?
Yeah, for sure.
3, 2, 1. We are Enactus U Ottawa, and we're just getting started.
That was great. Y'all should be voice actors if this doesn't work out. That was a really good presentation. I'm in the food security space, so I'm happy to ask the first question about Nupacko. Can you talk about your competitive landscape? If I'm at the grocery store, why am I choosing Nupacko over a granola bar or something like that?
We've done thorough price testing within our target market's most frequented areas, like local convenience stores and vending machines. And we found that not only is our price competitive for the amount of food that you get for the cost, but also we're able to have higher nutrient density within our cookies by being a social enterprise and leveraging a lower gross margins.
Hi. Can you talk me through the product development piece? I know you did a ton of research, but did you include any medical doctors or nutritionists?
For Nupacko, we had a 6-month development period with over 12 product iterations. And within each iteration, we did customer tests, as well as consulted with not only peer-reviewed journals on nutrients, how to retain those nutrients within baking, but also spoke with dietitians within our university and also medical school students and our own biology students within our team. So we did do thorough testing before, and then getting the nutrient label from Eurofins was the extra certification to add validity to our claims.
Follow-on question about pricing. Do you not think Canadian consumers would pay a premium for the Nupacko product, given its one-to-one business model?
We found that since we plan to enter retail very soon, we already have 3 leads for retail stores within the next few months, there is a markup that's associated with entering retail stores. By keeping a lower cost right now, we will be able to target a higher cost later when we enter the market and maybe match the value that we're adding.
Hi there. Can you please share a bit more on your plans to scale up to 10,000 cookies next year for Nupacko?
For Nupacko, currently we have 2,700 cookies that have been distributed, and we've already signed long-term distribution deals with our current distributors like Crackers Catering and Cornerstone Housing for Women. Through the next year, we've already been in talks with 3 distributors in retail stores. Retail stores means more consistent sales each week and also a higher volume of sales. We're actually using a conservative estimate that we will just triple the number with each retail store, but we expect it to be even higher than that for the 10,000.
Can you speak to your packaging and shelf life?
For Nupacko, our shelf life has been tested to be minimum 2 weeks within the pantry and then indefinitely within freezer storage, but we can guarantee with a couple months in freezer storage. In terms of packaging, in order to scale Nupacko, we've been focusing on bulk buying plastic packaging, but since we've been effectively bringing our cost down by over 20% by operating this year, we can afford to lean towards more sustainable packaging and maybe be more in line with Nupacko's mission.
Your nutrition claims on Nupacko were kind of generic, so it had potassium like a banana. Do you have it broken down by cookie exactly how much it would equate to, just from a nutrition claim perspective?
Per cookie, they each meet over the within a nutrient label, over 10 to 15% is considered a significant amount. So for each of the targeted nutrient deficiencies within a Nupacko cookie, you are able to target over 10% for each nutrient.
Hi there. I had a question about the $2,500 pollutant removal number on the Aqua Grid system. Can you share how you came up with that number?
It would be the market value. So the pollutant removal that Aqua Grid systems bring is particularly nitrogen removal and carbon dioxide removal. So it would be the market rate if you were to buy carbon offsets.
Hi guys, just flipping back to Nupacko for a second. You talked about growth from the retail and sales perspective. Could you talk to us about, from a production perspective, how you're going to keep up with volume?
So right now, we've already grown our production by being able to sign a contract with a professional kitchen space where we can now employ up to 10 people baking. Since we started employing people recently, scaling will be much easier now that we can have consistent labor. And we also have formed long-term partnerships with Causeway, which has more kitchen spaces for us to expand into. So once we figure out the demand for the retail stores that we'll be entering in a few months, we'll be able to scale accordingly with our kitchens.
Your time has expired. Judges and guests, please help me in thanking the team from the University of Ottawa.